Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to tackle a modern epidemic. I mean, it's something almost all of us face, but very few of us actually understand. We're talking about time. Or, well, more specifically, the time that just seemingly vanishes into thin air. Let me introduce you to a story that perfectly captures this exact feeling. Imagine a young guy named Arjun. It's late at night, his room is totally dark, and he's just lying there staring blankly up at the ceiling. And he has this heavy, sinking question looping over and over in his head. Where did all my time go? You know that creeping sensation, right? I'm sure you know it all too well. It's that awful feeling of losing an entire evening to endless, mindless scrolling, knowing you meant to do something productive, but somehow you just didn't. Section 1. The Mystery of Lost Time. The Trap of Good Intentions. So, let's take a closer look at Arjun's daily reality. Every single morning, Arjun would wake up with the absolute best of intentions. He told himself, today was the day. He was going to study, work on his goals, and actively build his future. But day after day, time just slipped right through his fingers. He'd tell himself he was just taking a quick look at his phone. Just a few minutes, right? But those few minutes quietly mutated into wasted hours. A so-called short break turned into a completely lost evening. And as months turned into years, Arjun had to watch his friends move ahead in life, while he remained completely stuck, entirely stagnant, in the exact same place he started. Now, what makes Arjun's situation so deeply frustrating, and I'm sure you felt this exact same way when looking at your own daily screen time reports, in shock, is his realization. He realized, I never even chose to waste it. It just disappeared. I mean, he wasn't actively deciding to sabotage his own future. It wasn't conscious laziness. It was a complete mystery to him. Just this sensation of absolute helplessness as his days completely evaporated. Section 2. The Elephant and the Bell. A Healer's Wisdom. Desperate for answers, Arjun actually sought out an old healer living at the edge of his village. This was a man renowned for his deep understanding of the human mind. So, Arjun approached the healer, bowed his head, and confessed how his life was just slipping away without him even deciding to waste it. And the elder looked at him gently and offered this incredibly profound piece of wisdom. He said, "You haven't lost your time to laziness. You've lost it to a path someone else carved inside your mind." Just sit with that for a second. If you've been beating yourself up over your own procrastination, let that sink in. You aren't fundamentally flawed. You're not hopelessly lazy. You are simply walking a mental path you didn't even realize was there. To explain this, the elder told Arjun a fable about a mahout, an elephant trainer, and his elephant. Now, what's really interesting about this timeline is how perfectly it maps out classical conditioning. On day 1, the mahout rings a bell before feeding the elephant. The elephant feels absolutely nothing at the sound. Its hunger only wakes up when it actually sees the food. But flash forward to months later. After the same pattern repeats day after day, bell first, food after, the elephant's hunger starts waking up the absolute instant the bell rings, long before any food is even near. By the time years have passed, the elephant's mind has been carved into a completely new shape. The elder called this the carved path. It's exactly like a trail worn deep into a field of tall grass. You know, when you walk it again and again, the grass gets flattened down, the dirt gets packed hard, and eventually there was simply no other way left to go. The elephant never consciously decided, hey, I should feel hungry when I hear that metal sound, right? It didn't choose this reaction at all. Its brain was simply conditioned by the repetition. Section 3. Your modern-day bell. Connecting the metaphor. And this brilliantly illustrates the exact parallel the old man was making. In the fable, we have the physical bell. In modern life, your bells are the sudden ping of a notification, a quiet moment waiting in an elevator, or just a fleeting feeling of boredom. In the fable, the elephant reaches for food. In your life, it's the automatic, zombie-like reaching for your phone. The elephant is you. Every single time you feel a tiny spike of stress or boredom, your personal bell rings, and your mind blindly walks that carved path directly to distraction. This is exactly why Arjun felt like his time was magically disappearing, because you don't lose an hour on purpose, you lose it one bell at a time. Literally, the very second that bell rings in your life, whether it's an alert or just a lull in your day, your hand is in your pocket, swiping a screen, long before your conscious brain has even made a choice to do so. Section 4. Rewiring the mind's path. The way out. Hearing all of this, Arjun just sat in stunned silence. Suddenly, all those wasted years actually made sense to him. But he urgently needed to know what to do next. He looked at the old healer and asked the exact question I'm sure you are desperately asking yourself right now. Can this old path be erased? I mean, can all this terrible, deep-rooted conditioning just be wiped clean so we can start over? The old man nodded, but his answer wasn't quite what Arjun expected. So the crucial point is this, the healer said. Not erased, son. Redirected. Actually, scratch that. It's more like you cannot just delete an old habit. When the bell rings in your life, you cannot stop it from ringing. The boredom is going to come, the notifications are going to happen. But here is the framework for that change. Step 1, you accept and keep the trigger, the bell. Step 2, you fiercely protect and change what follows it, the response. And step 3, by doing this repeatedly, you form an entirely new path, a total redirection. Section 5, Reclaiming Your Lost Time, the actionable solution. Let's look at how Arjun took this profound ancient wisdom and applied it as a highly actionable solution in his own modern life. Arjun didn't try to change his whole life overnight. He simply returned home and focused entirely on the bell. Whenever he felt that familiar trigger, that urge to just check his phone for a second, he intercepted the automatic response. Instead of reaching for the screen, he forced himself to do just 5 minutes of real, focused work. Now, this new choice felt incredibly small. It felt like almost nothing at first. You might even feel a bit silly doing it yourself. But slowly, inevitably, he began trampling down new grass. He carved a new path. And within one single year, mastering that tiny gap between the bell and the response completely reshaped his entire life. The brutal truth of our biology is this. Time isn't wasted all at once. It disappears in small moments, one unnoticed habit at a time. You cannot go back in time. You absolutely cannot get a refund on the hours, days, or years you have already spent walking blindly down an old, unhelpful path. But starting right in this exact moment, you have absolute, total control over which path you choose to carve next. I want to conclude this explainer with one final empowering thought. Every minute you save from an old habit is a minute you get to live again. The bells in your life are going to keep ringing, for sure. Your phone will buzz, the line at the grocery store will take too long, the work will get frustrating and boring, the trigger is inevitable. But the response? That is entirely yours. So, the next time your personal bell rings today, what new path are you going to choose to carve?